So, good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is kind of episode 1 of the sub 220 project, sub 220 attempt leading into London Marathon. Let me just pop the light on. So yeah, I've done the obligatory morning coffee and morning breakfast kind of filming. So as you can see from the weather, it is absolutely disgusting today. But we're not going to let it affect our training because we've got a big kind of double session day today, and these are my favourite days of the week. Absolutely love them. So obviously, as most of you know, I'm doing London Marathon this year. Obviously absolutely buzzing for it. I've got a coach, Ellis Cross, Hoka athlete, beat Mo Farah a few years ago. He's got all the credentials you could possibly need in a coach, and he set me this kind of double session day to build up some nice fitness and yeah, kind of prep myself for the marathon. So today's going to be a bit of kind of like a day in the life. I'm going to bring you with me. Essentially, I've got training this morning, I've then got some patients this afternoon because I work from home, I've then got a second run this afternoon, and then I might head to the gym as well, and then also, you know, just a bit of family, wasting time, bit of this, bit of that basically. So yeah, I'm going to bring you with me. Yeah, bit of a training day. So actually, one thing I should mention is that actually the first kind of race, well, I've got plenty of races before London Marathon, and the first kind of target is I'm doing the run through top flight 10k at Battersea Park next Saturday, so it's a week from today, and I want sub 30. I want that sub 30 so bad. I'm gonna dig so deep. So today's session is almost kind of like a bit of like a tune up for that almost. We're working like kind of below 10k pace today, but we'll get into that a little in kind of a little while. And I've just realised I'm developing a bit of a speech impediment while I was filming because I struggled to get my words out, but yeah, I'm not drunk, I promise. Right, let's get ready. So today's session, I'm going to be doing them in the Adios Pro 3s. I've got the Pro 4s, but it's absolutely disgusting outside and they're white, so I think we're going to go for the Pro 3s. Wearing kind of like a proper super shoe today just because I want to hit some good splits, bit of a confidence booster before next Saturday's 10k. This morning's threshold session, if you like, is 1 mile threshold, 3 minutes recovery, 4 sets of 1 kilometre, 90 seconds recovery, 400 meters, 3 minutes recovery, and gradually progressing through the sets. So the first set of 1 kilometre 400 will be the slowest, and hopefully the last one will be the quickest, and then finishing off with a mile threshold at the end as well. I'll put this on the screen so you can kind of do this workout at home if you like. It's a really good kind of 5k 10k workout, really good for kind of getting the legs spinning. And then yeah, this afternoon I'll talk you through my workout this afternoon when we get there. But Ellis's coaching philosophy kind of works on a lot more kind of concentrated training. So I've spent years doing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday sessions, which is just pretty standard as part of the UK club scene. And something that Ellis has kind of introduced into my training is more concentrated intensity. So Tuesday I tend to do a session in the morning and a session in the afternoon, or at least that's what I'm building towards. And the same with the Saturday. So I'm actually only doing kind of 2 session days, but those days have kind of 2 sessions in each day, so kind of totaling 4 sessions a week, if that makes sense. So it's overall more intensity concentrated onto those days, but then there's more kind of easy days or recovery days in between. So I'm basically, it's a bit of an extension of kind of hard days hard, easy days easy, that sort of thing. And also introducing these easy to steady runs, which many of you might have heard of, where essentially, well, it's in the name, that's what it says on the tin. You start off at easy pace and you finish at kind of a steady pace. So for me, that's kind of starting around 130 beats per minute and finishing around 150 beats per minute on those runs. And it just teaches you really good kind of efficiency, economy, find the paces that actually suit your biomechanics. Because I'll quite often start at say 7-minute miling, but actually when I get down to about 6:10, that's when I feel most comfortable, because obviously it's something about that kind of cadence and stride length really seems to kind of benefit my running style really. So And yeah, also it just keeps it interesting. It's nice to kind of progress through the paces and not do everything at easy pace. So anyway, I'm heading with my family to parkrun to do this session. I don't know if I'll do it as part of parkrun because I've got the mile threshold, then 3 minutes recovery, and then the Ks and the 400s could get messy, especially around the lollipop on the mud. So yeah, I have to play that one by ear. Also, as you'd expect, as part of marathon training, we've got to start practicing the fueling. So as much as this session isn't super high volume, it's more about getting used to training the gut at race pace. So although I'm going to be going quicker than my marathon race pace today, I think if you can train to take on carbs at a quicker pace, then that's kind of, well, that's proper good gut training, that is. So yeah, got more than 160, 40 grams of carbs to take on during, I'll probably take it after the second set of K400. But yeah, just trying to practice that kind of carb intake, gut training at race pace or faster, essentially. Because taking it on an easy pace is just, I don't know, it's not the same, it's not a good simulation. So, I mean, if all you can do is train your gut at easy pace and do it, like, it's the best preparation that you'll be able to do, if that's what you can manage. But yeah, obviously the closer you can get to race pace or even quicker to train your gut, taking on carbs, but yeah, I think it's, well, training the environment you're going to race in. I think Gandhi said that.
A few moments later.
So, session done. Hit all the splits I was meant to hit. Learning a bit of self-control maybe. After the threshold mile to begin with, I just wanted to rip it. My legs felt so good. But yeah, kept the control and yeah, earned myself my my caramel cappuccino. Gonna head into the marine now, and I think Grace has already bought it for me, so thank you, Grace, for buying that. I'd say I'll pay you back, but I'll almost definitely forget. So yeah, we'll talk through the splits in a second. Thanks for my coffee, guys. So, back from an absolute sublime coffee at the Marine Hotel in Whitstable, if you know, you know. Caramel cappuccino with a tiny little brownie, just as a little chaser. Yeah, proper nice. Had a couple deliveries before I'm going to hop into my, I've got an infrared sauna blanket that I really like to use. I just find it helps my legs recover. I don't know, it just gets some extra blood flow into the legs specifically, but I'll show you that in a second. Been influenced by the Runners FM podcast, Victor Smangs, and forgive me, but I've forgotten his co-host's name. Yeah, I can't remember. Anywho, Normio, it's like a broccoli extract that's meant to help kind of lactate buffering type thing, similar sort of thing to bicarb. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, it looks interesting. It comes in these little bottles. Yeah, reduces lactate build up to improve performance. Contains stabilized isothiocyanates from broccoli sprouts. Interesting. I do love broccoli though, to be fair. It's one of my favourite vegetables, especially the Nando's broccoli. I don't know if you've had that before. Had a restock of some electrolytes, Cadence ones, influenced by Clayton Young. And then a restock of my favourite cereal at the moment, just the Elite Chocolate Triumph, because my inner child can't let go of chocolate cereal. So yeah, just a little protein boost in the morning. So yeah, I'm now going to hop into the infrared sauna blanket, which is now, well, it's kind of taken up the floor in my kind of treatment room at the moment. So I'm just about to pop a towel down in there just so I don't get burnt, because sometimes it does get a little bit hot. And yeah, once I'm inside the blanket, we'll talk about today's session, splits, etc. But yeah, it was a pretty good one. Bear with me 1 second. So, in the infrared sauna blanket, I'm sure this is a very flattering angle. We are going to be talking about my splits from today's session. So yeah, just to kind of reiterate what the session was, it was, this was so strange.
Hello there.
Oh, stay there. So, yeah, just forgive the double chin, just hold that back there. So yeah, mile threshold. 4 times a K, 400 meters with 90 and 3 minutes recovery respectively, and then another mile threshold to finish things off. So here we go. So the first mile threshold aim was about 5:05 to 5:10 per mile, and I ran 5:03, so slightly quick actually. But as I said earlier, I felt unreal, and that was with headwind as well. And then because of the way that the Whitstable Park Run course kind of is laid out, it meant that I did my recovery on this like really muddy section. So actually it worked out perfectly, because I was a bit like Bambi on ice on the muddy section. Then into the first set of the K400. So the aim was to basically progress each kilometre by about 5 seconds per K for each one, and then to progress each 400 by about 2 or 3 seconds. The splits that Ellis gave me were based on a track workout, so he did say kind of take them with a pinch of salt. I was unable to use the track this morning, so I headed down to Whitstable Park Run instead, and did it along the seafront. So yeah, so it's probably easier to just talk through the Ks first. So the Ks I did 3:04, 3:03, so not quite the progression there, but based on the wind and the course and stuff, I was kind of happy with that. 2:55 and then 2:54 for the Ks, and then for the 400s, 70 seconds, which is 2:57 per K, 1:08, which is 2:52, 1:09, which is 2:54. That one was like into some massive headwind, and that kind of hurt actually. That's probably the hardest rep, was that third 400, and then 64 to finish off, so 2:41 400 to finish off those sets. And then yeah, finally another threshold K. Again, felt unreal on that, so I did was meant to go 5:05 to 5:10 and ended up running 5 flat pretty much. So yeah, all in all, a fantastic session. Koros pretty happy with it, I think. Anyway, so if you're wondering, comment why you're in a infrared sauna blanket. Obviously I already mentioned the recovery. I find the recovery really useful, but also been listening to the Physiology of Endurance Running podcast with Dan Nash and a wine, can't remember his second name. God, I'm pretty crappy with names. There's quite a lot of research on the effects of heat training and raising your core body temperature, similar to kind of the effects of altitude training. I don't know the physiology underneath too much. I think it's something to do with raising your body temperature increases the amount of plasma in your blood, and then to counterbalance that, your body increases its hemoglobin. So I don't know, completely lost on me, but so yeah, so kind of, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week I just hop in the sauna blanket. I never feel tired or dehydrated or anything. Obviously if it ever got to that point, then I'd stop, but yeah, I just sit here for 35-40 minutes kind of every other day, and saves me spending money going to a sauna or having hot baths basically. So yeah, I really enjoy it. But anyway, next on the agenda is a shower, then some lunch. Then I've got 3 patients this afternoon, just a short little afternoon today. And then this afternoon I've got a second session, but we'll talk about that later. It's starting to get a bit sweaty now. It's the last 10 minutes of this sauna blanket that really bites. As soon as you wipe the sweat off your brow, that's it. And I've got pretty big eyebrows, so suddenly it's like a tsunami in my eyes. All for the gains, all for the gains. Lunchtime. My go-to at the moment has been omelettes, so that's kind of what we're doing today, pretty much. Pure protein. More vitamin C per gram than an orange. Same colour though. In the background. So, lunch is served. Omelette with mushrooms, peppers, what's the other one? Mushrooms, and then I'll just add some extra chicken to it just to get that extra protein. And then afterwards I'll probably have, I don't know, like a pack of rice or like pudding, something like that, just to get some carbs in. So, scrummy. Apologies if you can hear Mum's hoovering in the background, but one thing that I definitely think has contributed to, I don't know, my kind of recent improvements in my running and just feeling like a lot less tired is I've been focusing a lot more on my protein intake. And I don't want to sound like your classic kind of PT who's always like, yeah, you need a high protein diet, it will keep you fuller for longer, all that, but it honestly works. And yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm eating, it's tasty, it's filling, and I feel like I'm recovering properly. So yeah, definitely get that protein in your diet. If you have alternative dietary requirements, just find a different source of protein. It doesn't have to be meat. I just like chicken. Focusing on my diet, but not focusing too much on my diet, if that makes sense. Not hyperfixating on it, not calorie counting, just eating good food, it's filling, and it's gonna fuel me for my training. Refueling is obviously super important. Can of rice pudding, cold, just the way I like it, but 65, 70 grams of carbs, just to stock up before my second run later. Bosh. So now a little bit of work this afternoon. As I said, I've got 3 patients today. I only see a few people at the weekend just because I do kind of work 7 days a week, but kind of make my days less intense over the weekend. First off, I've got a patient who I actually offer in-person running coaching, and that's kind of, so I guess not really a patient, more of an athlete that I'm seeing first off. And essentially what I offer is, as part of that, is the patient, or the athlete, the athlete gets one kind of monthly consultation with myself. We'll talk about their training, etc. And as part of that, they obviously get their monthly training plan as well that I set through Final Surge, which is like a software for training. I can put their sessions on there, paces, targets, etc., heart rate, and whatnot. And they get kind of 24/7 communication with me through WhatsApp, but they can contact me whenever. Like help with races, injuries, etc. Basically the whole 9 yards when it comes to training, and that's £70 per month. So every month they get that kind of 40-minute consultation with me. So my first athlete will be here in just a few moments, and then they get their monthly plan as well. And it's just nice to have that kind of face-to-face kind of check-in with that athlete. I feel like you build that connection, you see how much it means to them, and also face-to-face is so much easier than over text or over the phone. So yeah, and then I've got a couple of osteopathy patients after that, people with kind of aches, pains, niggles, etc. And then it's pretty much the same tomorrow as well. I've got 3 patients as well, similar sort of thing. But yeah, cheeky self-plug. If you're not going to advertise yourself, who are you going to advertise? If you're interested in any running coaching or any help with aches and pains, etc., obviously do hit me up. But that's enough for now. Yeah, I'll see you afterwards when we head out for my second run of the day. So, patient's all done. I can head out for my second session of the day. So I'm just scranning a banana just to get a little bit of extra carbs in there before the run. So as I said, Ellis, my coach, likes to kind of train on a kind of like a double threshold style model, and obviously I've done years of not doing that. So to help me adapt and to be able to cope with the training load of doing 2 sessions in a day, we started off on week 1 with sessions and an easy to steady run, so like a progression run as the second session. And then the second week we started with, we did a threshold session in the morning, and then a easy and steady run, so like 1 mile easy with 4 miles steady. And now we're kind of getting into like kind of the more, starting to push the bases a bit. So I've done a session today, this morning, and then this evening I'm gonna head out for 1 mile easy and then 5 miles kind of up steady, if that makes sense. So it's like just a bit faster than my steady pace, not quite at kind of like a tempo and nowhere near a threshold. So in fairness, it'll probably be around my LT1, I would imagine, maybe a bit slower, I'm not really sure, but yeah, so that's what we're gonna head out and do. So it'll be another kind of 6 miles in the bank, another good block of aerobic work, and then tomorrow I've got a 12-mile long run, not super long this week, because I've got the Battersea Park 10k next weekend, so I don't really want to kind of completely knacker myself out. So just enough to keep the legs ticking over, but also getting some decent time on feet as well. So right, gonna get this banana down me, and yeah, I'm about to head out for my easy 1 mile, steady, slightly faster than steady 5 miles, in the Adidas Evo SL, probably the best value shoe on the market at the moment. You just get such a good bang for your buck. I think they retail around £130. Got mine from Start Fitness, so massive thank you to those guys. But this wasn't a paid promotion. I'm not paid to talk about this shoe. Just I think it's a bloody beautiful shoe. It looks nice. I mean, look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. And you've got super shoe foam in a daily trainer. So yeah, it's just the absolute perfect vessel for these kind of easy to steady progressions, or these steady miles, these runs where you're kind of going at that kind of sexy pace, if you like. yeah, they're just absolutely perfect. So yeah, absolutely love them. But yeah, so we're gonna head out for easy 1 mile, probably around 7-minute miles, and then 5 steady to up steady. So it's kind of gonna probably be around 6-minute mile to 5:50 potentially, or 3:44 per k to around 3:38 for the steady part. And if you do kilometers, but I can't film, I'm afraid, because I've somehow managed to misplace all of my action cameras, my GoPro, well, my 2 GoPros and my Insta360. I've somehow managed to lose it, or lose them, and I don't know what I've done with them. So yeah, gonna head out and yeah, get this double day done while it's still daylight. So today's podcast, let's have a look. What am I gonna put on? I think it's gonna be the Training Talk podcast by kind of Sweat Elite, Matt Fox and Luke Keogh. I really enjoy that podcast, and also because that's only 40 minutes long, I've got left of that. I'm also going to pop on the Inside Running podcast. So the Australian boys are currently a Patreon for their podcast. So I've got some extra content to listen to, and they're chucking out so much content that I can't keep up with it at the moment. So yeah, that's the plan. Right, let's get this done. And then straight back on the refueling straight away. Doesn't matter what you're up to, you need to find time to get the fuel back in. That's definitely something I've been prioritising. I think I've already said that, but so I've got some of this, this Elite kind of chocolate cereal, and then I just kind of cover it in honey. So getting the calcium from the milk, the protein from the actual cereal, and then some carbs from the honey. And then dinner will probably be in about, I don't know, an hour and a half time. And then the evening is about recovery. Got some training plans to sort for some of my athletes. And yeah, just relaxing pretty much. Training's done for the day, so. Can never have too much rice pudding. So that is my first week done with this kind of marathon block, if you like. Obviously I've got good base fitness. I ran a 51-minute 10 mile a couple weeks ago, so obviously the base fitness is there. We're not starting from scratch, so yeah, obviously take that with a pinch of salt, like marathon block started, if you like. But week 1 is going to be slightly higher volume wise compared to a lot of weeks, just because I haven't had a rest day this week, whereas most weeks going forward I will have a rest day. So going into my 10k next week, for example, I'll almost definitely have a rest day next week. So this week's looking for about, I don't know, 110 miles, 175k-ish. I think it's probably actually about 109 miles. But so yeah, pretty like voluminous, and absolutely loved every minute of it. I feel fresh, feel good. So hopefully come next week at the Battersea Top Flight, no, bugger, got it wrong. At the Run Through Top Flight Battersea Park 10k, hopefully I can run sub 30. I want sub 30 so bad. I want that 29:59. Yeah, I want it so bad. But yeah, so far I've been coached by Ellis now for 3 weeks, and I'm loving every second of it. Just the kind of the insight that he's giving me, learning from someone that is obviously a lot quicker than me. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a good runner, but I mean, he'd run rings around me on basically any run, any session. So yeah, it's just nuts to be trained by someone like that. So yeah, a massive thank you to Ellis so far for obviously all of the tips that he's given me. If you do want to be coached by Ellis, his coaching company is called Cross Training. I think you can find it on Instagram, and likewise if you want to be coached by me, just head to my website www.rejuvenatehealthhub.com, and you can inquire about some coaching through there. But anyway, if you don't mind liking and subscribing the video, it's free for you guys, but it makes such a big difference to the channel. Hopefully going to get to 10k soon. It's been a long time coming, but yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you found this video useful. And any questions, do drop them down in the comments below, and I'll be sure to respond to those. But anyway, catch you in the next one. 11 weeks to go. Come on.